it requires some change in behavior, obviously, and some process change also. And the cost, I think, is the most important part. For AI agent, A to Z, everything it do for you, it charge you. Okay? For AI workflow, for example, let me show you the workflow in n8n. So this is the full workflow. There are only 2 nodes over here. Okay? I highlight it in the sticky note in yellow color. Only this one, okay, and this one is the AI function, okay, in the yellow part. It is handled by Gemini to do OCR, to do the information extraction. That's why we need to link it to the Gemini API key. So the whole process, only these 2 particular sub process, you will be charged. Other ones is basically using some code logic. Just that n8n should already bunkos nicely lah, as a node for you to configure. So from here, right, other part of the project, it doesn't spend you a single cent. Only this one, it will charge you on the AI API token. Likewise, if you compare to Claude over here, everything you feed to the AI, everything AI speak to you either in the conversation chat box or in the output at the right side, right? It charge you everything. For us, we are paying subscription. If you are paying subscription like $20 a month, $100 a month, the challenges for us is just spending the quota lah. Maybe when our quota reach already, it asks us to pause for a while, wait for 3 p.m. or 5 p.m. to resume the session. But as you start scaling the Claude service in your organization, you'll find that $20 is not sufficient one. Usually, you need to go to $100 package for the heavy user. From there, you will realize that $100 per pax is a very big investment to the company. That's why I say from adoption, better start with the agent. Then when come to the deployment, you still eventually need to go to the AI workflow. Okay, so this is my recommended roadmap. Start agent as a core worker. Slowly, when things are proven, can be automated, move it to the workflow. And eventually, right, you may not need to craft the workflow one by one by yourself. You can ask the AI, ask Claude to help you to craft the n8n workflow, and Claude themselves use the n8n workflow to execute the task for you. I can show you some simple example. This is a agent. Actually, we have backend is still Anthropic, is still Claude. Okay, we make it like a function in the workflow. Okay, in the chat room. So every member over here today, only me is inside lah. Okay, we can come in and ask the agent do things for us. So subscription is actually binded with the agent itself. Okay, other team member you doesn't have the subscription, but in the chat room you can talk to the AI agent over there. So for here you can see sometimes I ask it whether you can help me to install this community node on n8n. Okay. So you will go and install. Basically, on the same machine, I actually integrate it with n8n workflow and Claude. So actually, Claude can help you to amend, outdate, maintain, and create the workflow. And Claude can use the workflow. So that is another way that you can look at it. And of course, for this application, right, I actually white coded it myself lah. That's why today's in the AI era, you can be a power user for the AI, be it using Claude or other software as an agent. You can build a workflow. You can use n8n to build a workflow to get some automation done. If you want to go further and you are very interested, you can build an application using some white coding technique. That's why it's also aligned with some of the course that we are providing. We are providing n8n workflow, which is selling hot. We are providing white coding session. Right now, the takeout rate is lower than the workflow automation. But this is how far the things you can go. You can actually build your in-house application and solution within your organization to run it. Then after that, in May, we will also launch the session how to use Claude Cowork on all the business tasks. Okay, so the key takeaway from my half an hour sharing, I think I slightly overrun. Okay, the half hour sharing is agent is the easiest way for you to start with if you want to get your organization to roll out the automation. Workflow is more sustainable and scalable. Okay. Then eventually all you need to do is have all this okay, I don't want to put it too technical. Is when you use it, you'll be more familiar how to tune it and how to give prompt to make sure the output is aligned to your expectation. Okay, so Nicholas Gunn, right? He's asking that what about white coding security risk? Okay, so for my this particular workflow, right, I'm actually use it in empty PC. Okay, for that, and especially this is for our internal use cases. We don't use it for publish the apps like other application is done. So depending on your use case, right? For some simple mini viable project, actually this one it doesn't have many technical layer. It's just using Cloud Code channel. Cloud Code has a channel to plug it in, and actually backend is all run by the Cloud Code. So basically, this one we know exactly what we are doing. Then we use it internally. But if let's say you are now pushing a solution to your client, pushing a solution to the public, right? You always need to go back to consult with the cybersecurity expert, the people in the IT field. They will look at all the costs, all the data flow, all this kind of thing, and give you the better advice. So right now, today, for those people in IT, right, they also can uplift their time, right? They don't need to deal with all the coding, the heavy tasks, the heavy lifting tasks. They are going into more critical advisory and critical cybersecurity screening. Okay, Nicholas, hopefully I answer your question. Okay.
Perhaps, Wei-Jian, to showcase, right, to put a little bit of color for the audience within here, right, because many of them are finance and still new to all these AI agents, right? Maybe you can run one or two processes that you have designed. We won't be teaching you how to build the processes, but all of you will be able to see, right, that from a logic perspective, it's quite easy to flow from one end to another, right? And you'll be able to interpret it. Then it gives a little bit more color in terms of how you think about it from an RPA analysis perspective.
Yeah. So today I will first share using n8n to do some data input and some dashboard reporting reconciliation. Then the later part, I will use Claude to do the same thing. From here, you can do the comparison. Okay, which one is what do I mean by just now? I said agent is more flexible but costly. Workflow is relatively cheaper, but you need to spend more time to pick up and do the change. So I think I have done enough of the talking in terms of the slide. I will jump straight to some showcase on some of the workflow on how to automate things. Okay, the example that I will be using. Okay, let's do some warm up first. We use some receipt OCR. Even though working with AI for quite some time, right, we always think that the receipt OCR is already implemented. But every time during the lesson that we have, right, this one's still a very common pain point for most of the people. Okay, but the example here, we are using a receipt, right, to showcase how to do OCR from the receipts and push it to one data space. In fact, this is not necessarily be the only use case. You can do OCR on your agreement. You can do OCR on all sorts of documentation and extract the data. From here, webinar sharing purpose, because of the time constraint, we do a simple example. Right now, this one is the receipt that I eat on the cafe. Okay, one lime soda, one matcha cafe. So from there, right, I will pass this receipt via form to the n8n platform.